Okay, we have our assignment. We're reading in tax table and tax schedules. And you have a form that looks like, I'll get it here eventually, that looks like this. All right. And so, first of all, we're coming down here to determine the tax for each filing status and taxable income amount. Single 5723. All right. We're going down our left column. We're trying to find the largest amount that is less than or equal to our taxable income of 57,723. You come down here, you'll find the interval 57,700 through 57,750. Taxpayer is filing single, so we come up with 10,775 right there. So again, I'm coming right over here. 10,775 is my amount here. That, all right. Head of household, 60,950. Head of household, 60,950. That would be down here. That's right there at the bottom of the interval, 60,950. Head of household is the last column, 10,306. Married filing jointly, 63,999. That is the very last interval. 63,950 is the largest number that is less than or equal to 63,999. And I'm going to come over here to married filing jointly. And I come up with letter C of 8794 is my tax on that. 8794. Married filing separately, 57,521. 57,500 would be my largest amount there. Slide over to married filing separately, and I've got 10,725 there is my filing status in the third column, 10,725. All right, let's double check that, 10,725, right on. Okay, well, I'm sure what I'm going here. Next, we're calculating the tax. We're going to use our tax table like so. All right, now, one thing you might want to do, since I'm going to have this up here in a second, you might want to pull up the slide from the week 15 presentation, income taxes day one, and the PowerPoint. Pull up the slide that corresponds with this information and kind of follow this cookbook here, if you like, on how to calculate your tax. So my taxable amount is 400,000. What interval am I in? I'm in the last interval, where 357,700 is the largest amount that is less than or equal to 4,000. Start with my base tax amount. X equals base tax amount plus T minus amount over times tax rate. I'm going to drop this over into the worksheet I was working in. Kind of drop it over here. There you go. X equals base tax amount plus T minus amount over times tax rate. Now, if you go back to the demo video that goes with this lesson, it'll make way much more sense to you. So my tax is equal to my base amount. Well, what's the base amount? That's over here. The tax starts with 100,604. That is the tax on 357,000, which incorporates all of the previous 5 tax brackets. Not all your money is being taxed at 35%, just the amount over 357,700. All right. So down here, I'm going to say 100,604. And like the formula shows up above there, plus left parentheses, T is my taxable income that was given, 400,000, minus what's the amount over? The amount over is over here on the far right, I'm only being taxed at 35% on the amount that's over 357,700 times my tax rate. I'm in the 35% tax bracket. Now I can either, in Excel, I can either say 35% or 0.35, doesn't really matter. It's the same thing. PEMDAS will hold true. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, addition, subtraction. So it's going to calculate the amount in the middle of the parentheses. Let's make sure my amount over was correct. 357,700, yes. All right. And multiply by my tax rate. So you should come up with, I'll just copy that over here actually. Copy formulas. All right. 115,409 is my tax on 400,000. I'm going to keep that over there. I'm going to calculate this over here this time. 10,954 equals, what's the base tax amount? Well, first of all, what interval am I in? I'm in the very first one. Base tax amount, the dot, 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 there's nothing. It's zero. My amount over is zero. I'm just simply taking my taxable income and multiplying it by 10% because that's the bracket I'm in. So I'm going to take 10,954 times 0.1, 10% bracket. Double check my 10,954. Yes, okay, I just had to double check. All right. Next, 108,962. I'm going to start building my formula here. Which interval am I in? I'm in the third interval, 108,962. 108,962. So my base tax amount is 59.75 plus 108,962 minus, notice I put a parenthesis in there, minus my amount over. The bottom end is 43,650 up here. Times the tax rate of, I got to pause here, 25%, 0.25. Okay. 22,303 is the tax on 108,962. How about 201,102? 201,102 is going to land me in the second to last tax bracket. My base amount is 42,755 plus taxable income 201,102 minus my amount over for that second to last bracket is 182,400. So only the amount over 182,400 is going to be subject to a tax rate of 33%, 0.33, 4892666. And again, you should be able to step back after doing all four of those and go, does that even make sense? Well, yeah, if I'm making $200,000, I should be paying a lot of tax, right? 10,954, not so much. 400,000, yeah, that's over 1/4 of my income. 115,409. All right. So you should be able to step back and go, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, this last one, I need to start by calculating the tax on 110,000. What interval is that? Third interval. It can be very similar to one I just did here. Base tax amount again is 59.75 plus 110, my taxable income, minus the amount over is 43,650 is the bottom end of that bracket, 43,650 times tax rate of 25% or 0.25. Very similar to 6C. I got 22,303. Here I got 22,562. I'm trying to calculate the nearest percentage of my overall tax rate. Well, what I need to do is I need to put this whole shooting match in parentheses as it's calculated. It's going to come up with 22,562 and divide by my taxable income of 110,000. And then I would change that to a percentage and it comes out to 21%. All right. So my tax bracket was 25%, but I'm falling, or overall, I'm calculating tax on my income at 21%. In the future, when you start making money, you're going to want to know how much of your money, percentage wise, overall, is going towards income taxes. I remember back a day when I had a wife and 3 kids, and I wasn't making a whole lot of money. That my effective tax rate every year was like 4.5%. Not so much anymore. All right. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. But I hope that's helpful in some of the questions you might have on this assignment. Take care.